Hey everybody, this is Joe. This is a entertainment show. You notice the name is INT, short for entertainment. Just a quick name. I don't really have a name for it yet. I'd appreciate anybody thinking up a name. I'll take all suggestions. This is just the first show, so there might be some bugs and things to work out in this. My first time doing this right here. So I like movies. You looked at the profile there. It says movies and more. So it's a big year for movies right now. We just come off of the Oscars. And those are always awesome. I watch them all the time. All the time. Not. But anyway, I've been talking to some friends about this upcoming summer. The summer movie battles are always pretty cool. And this year it looks to be like a big summer, because this year is a superhero summer again. Like last summer, it was the big battle between Batman, the Avengers, and Spider-Man. And I think we know who won that box office war there. I think we know that there. So let's look at the two movies I like to hone in on right now are Iron Man 3 and The Man of Steel. Now, The Man of Steel is a bit of a reboot. That term is thrown around a lot, of Superman. They took it away from Bryan Singer, who did the last Superman movie that opened in 2006. Bryan Singer probably got it taken away from himself because of what he had made. Now, don't get me wrong, all those massive Superman Returns fans out there, I enjoyed Superman Returns, but it was a bit of a disappointment, really, after waiting all that time for a new Superman movie. I mean, I thought the cast was okay, except for Lois Lane. I don't know who she was playing, but I don't think she was playing Lois Lane. But you got Brandon Routh. I thought he did a great job as Superman. You had a great Lex Luthor, but do we really need Lex Luthor again? I don't think so. And I think the box office take of Superman Returns told them that. The domestic take wasn't that great, and the worldwide take was only 3,9,1,0,8,1,9. Not very great for what they were expecting, especially coming off of Batman Begins the year before that grossed more than Superman Returns. But anyway, Superman Returns really was a remake of Superman the movie. If you really look at the plot of Superman Returns and Superman the movie, the plots are exactly the same. I mean, all you got to do in Superman Returns is strip out the whole Superman had a kid and went away for 5 years, and Lois Lane's mad at him. I mean, you just throw all that stuff out, the plot's exactly the same. Lex Luthor's doing the exact same thing. He's trying to get some land, and he's going to hurt a bunch of people, and he's going to sell that land for money. It's the exact same thing Lex Luthor was doing in the original one. They add little things with how he gets the land. That's all they change, really. It's really the same. Even the ending is about the same, because Superman's running around stopping natural disasters. So even that's the same. There was a lot of good in it, but it was just really blah, mostly, and it was really Bryan Singer just remade Superman. So that movie suffered from that. I mean, it had a lot of good things in it. There were a few good concepts in it. A lot of the shots in it were great. I thought the costuming was really good, except Lois Lane, and her costume wasn't good because the actress playing her wasn't good. She didn't wear her costume very good. Parker Posey was in that movie, and I kept watching it. I couldn't help but shake that Parker Posey should have been playing Lois Lane. I don't know why. I don't know. It's because she sort of resembles Margot Kidder, but there's Lois Lane in the Superman movie. But anyway, they were supposed to make, after Superman Returns, they were going to make another Superman, and it was supposed to come out in 2009, and it was going to be called Man of Steel. Well, if you've been following this at all, you know that the next Superman movie is called The Man of Steel. But it's a few years late. It's coming out June 14, 2013. Now I'm going to hop over to Iron Man here for a little bit, because this is going to be the big battle, and it's the one I'm looking at for the summer, between the two comic book movies anyway. Iron Man 3, which that trailer looks great. The movie looks really great. Looks exciting. Looks like it's going to be entertaining, just like we really want. Comes out May 3rd, 2013, so that you got about a month jump on Superman. So hopefully this word of mouth for that's going to pump it up like it did with the first one. The first Iron Man was just super entertaining, super fun. I mean, I think I saw that 3 times in the theater when it came out. It was just super fun. It moved along at a really great pace. Robert Downey Jr. was great in it. The whole cast in that was really great. I mean, Terrence Howard wasn't brought back for the second one. I don't know. You can look it up to see why. It's about some fights or whatnot. But I thought he was even good. Now, I haven't read Iron Man. I've never really read Iron Man comic books, so I can't really comment on whether or not they really follow the comics. I've read more Superman comics than Iron Man, but I thought the Iron Man movie was super entertaining, and a lot of other people did too, because the gross on that was really good. Domestic gross, $300,000 billion. And and you can look it up for the real gross, but it's right up there. Worldwide gross was really good too. It was really about the gross that they wanted for Superman Returns, that they thought Superman Returns was going to get, but didn't get, because it was for reasons we've gone over. That's what I think about it anyway. So then you had the sequel to Iron Man 2. The sequel to Iron Man was called Iron Man 2, rather. That came out May 7th, 2010. Now, the domestic gross for Iron Man 2 was a little bit lower than Iron Man. Not much. Really not much. You had 318 for Iron Man, and Iron Man 2 was 312. The worldwide take for Iron Man 2 was larger than the domestic take. So I actually thought that Iron Man 2 did worse than the first one. And it might be because I didn't think the movie was as good. I didn't think Iron Man 2 moved along as a snappy pace like Iron Man moved along. I still enjoyed Iron Man. There was still a lot to like about it, and it wasn't an overly bad film. I think the thing that really killed it for me was a little bit more sluggish. There were more things in there, whole scenes I would have just chopped out. Like, for instance, like him getting drunk in his suit at the party and DJing, if I remember that right. I was like, well, I could deal with all that. Let's get to the, fighting. That's what we want, right? That's what we really want. That's what we want to see. And that's one of the other problems with Superman Returns. He's doing the same thing we've already seen him do. He's not fighting anything, really. Even in 2006, the technology was great, and they didn't bring in any of his other worldly villains. We're always hearing about him fighting in the comic books and watching him do so well, portraying him on the animated features that DC is doing, which a lot of those are really good. They do really good with some of those. If anybody's interested in checking them out, if you haven't, you should. They're really interesting. But Iron Man 2, I don't think was as good. It had the same director, which Jon Favreau. He's made some great films. If you haven't seen any other ones, Made, that is really good. He's a good comedic actor also, as you can see in Iron Man 2. He's pretty entertaining in that, and Iron Man. But, the cast was back, except for Terrence Howard. He's replaced by Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle did good. Don Cheadle he's a good actor. You see him in any movie, he's usually pretty good in it. So you can expect a pretty solid performance from Mr. Cheadle, and Iron Man 2 is no exception. He's pretty good in that. But I just didn't think that Iron Man 2 was as good as Iron Man, and I think that hurts Iron Man 3. So I really haven't decided who I think is going to win. I think right now it's up in arms. It's anybody's guess who's going to win the box office take between Iron Man 3 and Superman. And both trailers look awesome. The Man of Steel trailer, it looks really great, especially this 2-minute trailer that just came out a little while ago. It looks great. It just looks awesome. And if you don't believe me, go watch it. I mean, if that's all it is, if the trailer's all it is, that's almost enough. The Iron Man 3 trailer also looks great. Looks super entertaining. But we've all been fooled by trailers before. The Superman Returns trailer looked awesome. You had Marlon Brando, using that again. taking the continuity back to the Richard Donner Superman, which was really nice little throwback there. They use the same theme music, and that's great. Who doesn't get chills from that music? That is, like, to me, almost the perfect theme music for a comic book character. It's awesome. But anyway, let's go to the Man of Steel here real quick. The Man of Steel, let's see what's going on here. You got Zack Snyder directing the Man of Steel. David Goyer wrote it. Zack Snyder has come off some pretty decent, well-received films. The first film of his I remember seeing that I remember he directed was the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I thought was absolutely horrible. And that'll be another show that we'll talk about, the Dawn of the Dead remake. I mean, that was just atrocious. So I didn't have very high hopes for Zack Snyder's that I was going to like it, many more of his films, but since then he's done 300, which I thought was pretty solid, a pretty solid adaptation of the Frank Miller book. Now we got to remember now, 300 really isn't a historical movie. It's really an adaptation of Frank Miller's 300. So it's not, you can't go in there and go, oh, well, they did this to history and they did that to history. What was wrong with them for doing that to history? That's wrong. But it really wasn't, a historical telling. It was his interpretation of Frank Miller's book. And, of course, they changed a few things here and there. But I thought it was pretty solid, pretty entertaining film. Then he did, see, another one, The Watchmen. I didn't care that much for The Watchmen. There was much good in it. But overall, I didn't think it fit together that well or worked that well. For me, the high point, and this may be for a lot of people, Jackie Earle Haley nailed Rorschach. I thought he was awesome in that. So, Zack Snyder's been some hit or miss for me, anyway, in his movies. So he gets the Man of Steel. Now, I didn't see the past couple that, just to say, I didn't see the past couple of Zack Snyder movies, the Owl movie and the Sucker Punch. I didn't see that. I wasn't that interested in Sucker Punch. I didn't think it looked that good. But I could be wrong. It could be really awesome. But anyway, Man of Steel, let's get there. You got David Goyer, who wrote with Christopher Nolan the last 3 Batman films. Now, that's the one thing I think the Man of Steel has that some people are underestimating. You got Christopher Nolan's name on the Man of Steel. You can't underestimate that, because when Batman Begins came out, the last Batman film that was released was Batman and Robin, and that left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. That was awful. And it was still a blockbuster. It still made enough to be called a blockbuster. Not by much. But that was horrible. It was like they just made a movie version of the Adam West television show, which is, if they said that's what they were doing, then maybe people would have understood it more. But you're following the 2 Tim Burton Batman films, which are 2 of my favorites. Then you have Batman Forever, which was okay, but not really good. And then you had Batman and Robin. So, and Batman Project had been floating around for a long time until it finally landed for Christopher Nolan to be able to do Batman Begins. Now, Batman Begins was just a sleeper movie that just kind of slipped under there and ended up being really, really solid movie. So everybody was looking forward to the next Batman movie. And, of course, we know what happened there. You got The Dark Knight, which I thought that was really good, but I didn't think it was as good as Batman Begins, because I think Batman Begins had more to prove. But anyway, Christopher Nolan's name on the Man of Steel, I think, is a big thing, because I think a lot of people are going to look at that. Christopher Nolan produced it. He had something to do with it, something to do with the storytelling. David Goyer helped with the 3 Batman movies. All 3 were successful. The 3rd Batman movie, this may be for another talk, but Dark Knight Rises, that just came out this summer, in my opinion, is the best 3rd superhero movie ever made. We'll save that for another time, but in my opinion, that's what that one is. So, and that ties back into Iron Man 3 a little bit. Was Iron Man 3's got a new director, Shane Black. I know the name. I'm not sure that I've seen anything he's actually directed, but he's a pretty well-known writer. He's written some pretty solid films. Iron Man 3 is the 3rd in this superhero movie franchise, and as I just stated a little bit, Iron Man 3, it's going to be the 3rd one, and there's been a curse that I think with third superhero movies. Pretty much every third superhero movie has been really bad. Or just like, really, why did they make that? Just kind of like, you don't really care if you want to buy them. You know, they just haven't been as solid. It's like they've just quit trying by the third movie. But Iron Man 3 looks really, really good. So, you don't know. You got, it's coming off the Avengers also. The Avengers was really, really good. Really well received. Well, it's in the top 10 of the highest grossing films of all time. Unfortunately, it didn't beat out Avatar. It's a much more solid film than Avatar all the way around. Solid writing, acting, everything. Well, we are coming upon a break here. I have to give some time for my sponsors here. So let me just pause here for a minute, and then we'll go back and see what's happening. Have you ever wanted to lift an X-Wing fighter out of a bog with your mind? Have you ever wanted to trick a stormtrooper into believing these are not the droids they're looking for? Well, now you can with this amazing new breakthrough product. Midichlorians in a can. Midichlorians in a can. Midichlorians in a can. Increase your midichlorian count today and take advantage of the Force now. Don't wait for some stuffy 900-year-old Jedi Master to teach you the secret ways of the Force. Use the handy applicator and start using the Force today. Use the Force today. Order now and receive a second can absolutely free. You just pay shipping. Midichlorians in a can. Midichlorians in a can. Warning, midichlorians in a can does not contain real midichlorians. All right, now we are back here. Let's see what we got here. I think I've covered that where I stand pretty well. I think it's up in the air. Who's going to win? We don't know. I think right now it's anybody's game. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. We got somebody on the line here. Let's see if they want to weigh in on this issue. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey Joe, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing
all
right.
Voice?
Yeah. Having a good night tonight?
Oh, heck yeah. It's a lot of fun. A lot of learning going on here with this, brand new.
Okay.
So what do you think about what we've been talking about? Have you been looking at, I'm sure you've seen the Iron Man 3 trailer, Man of Steel trailer. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I think Iron Man 3. I think it'll win easily, in my opinion.
Think so?
Yeah,
Easily?
Yeah, what I'm predicting, yes, easily.
I think that.
Anyway, I would say in between. Are we talking domestic or worldwide? Or
I
both?
think ultimately worldwide, but either one you want to go by.
I would say domestically, I think it wins south or beats Man of Steel by $50 to $100 million.
He's going to put a number out there.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, and then worldwide, right. I'm going to say 150 million to 200 million more worldwide.
Also, you think it's going to crush Man of Steel?
Yeah. I said win handily. So
Yeah, I guess that is pretty handily. You don't think Man of Steel has a chance at all?
No, I mean I guess it does. I mean I think if you made some good points with Christopher Nolan. I think that and personally I really didn't know that until you just informed me that he was involved with Man of Steel. So I think they need to advertise that pretty well. And maybe they have, and I haven't paid attention to it. But
well, I don't. I'm sure his name is on the trailer there somewhere. They can't stop that. It's probably on there, like from the producer or from the director of the Batman trilogy.
Sure. Right.
Somewhere on there. What do you think of both trailers? How do you think the trailers compare?
To be honest, I've only seen teaser trailers for both of them. I haven't seen the new ones. So
you need to check out the longer trailers because the teaser for Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about the one where you see the little boy with a cape, and then at the very end of the trailer you don't really get to see all of him to see what he is, but it's a guy obviously flying off.
Yeah.
You're talking about that, the short trailer?
Yeah, I saw the
Go
like
check
the
out.
trail.
Yeah, go check out the longer trailer. Like the longer trailer, it's like, wow, that longer trailer looks really, really good. Because the teaser's like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to see it, but check out that longer trailer and then see what you think. Now the Iron Man 3 trailer looks really good too.
Okay.
I mean, like I know you. Have you seen the longer Iron Man 3 trailer?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen either of them. So.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe when you go see Die Hard, it'll be on there. So what? What other summer movies are you looking forward to?
Oh, basically it's those two. Let's see what else that it was kind of that comedy with Jonah Hill, like those guys. It's kind of like a superstar lineup comedy. What the hell is it called? Like End of the World, something like that.
Oh my gosh, what is that called?
I don't know. I can Google it real quick.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah, well, you're the host, but I'm doing your work for it.
That's right. Well, what do you? So you like the first Iron Man movie quite a bit, right? I'm guessing.
Oh yeah. That was excellent.
What do you think about the second Iron Man movie? I think that stacked up to the first one.
No, the first one was definitely better, but I definitely like the second one. This is the End. That's the name of it.
This is the End. Okay. And that's got Jonah Hill in it?
Has Jonah Hill in it. Let's see, who else do I have in it? Like I said, it's kind of a comedy superstar lineup here. It has James Franco, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, and also Danny McBride. So
that's that one Seth Rogen co-directed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. I like Seth Rogen. I think he's funny.
Oh, yeah, I think he's pretty damn funny, too.
This might be blasphemy to some people, but I really thought the Green Hornet was hilarious and entertaining as hell.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
That cracked me up.
To be honest, I kind of like the beginning part when he was just like a freaking, irresponsible dirtball, right? And after he became a superhero, it was like, oh, okay, it's all right. But yeah, I like the beginning when he was.
Well, you notice they haven't made another one yet.
Yeah. Well, that's a big surprise, right?
I don't remember how well that did, but I'm not sure that they're going to make any more of those since I haven't really seen any news about one yet. And it's been a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I really doubt we're going to see another one. Let's see. Looking at our summer lineup here, is Star Trek Into Darkness. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I did see a super long, extended special edition trailer for that.
Oh, what was that on the front of?
That was on the front of The Hobbit. I went to see The Hobbit in IMAX 3D, and they played. It must have been a 8 to 10 minute trailer for the new Star Trek movie, and it was so long. Say what?
It's probably half the movie, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, and it was so long that the guy sitting next to me actually leaned over and he asked me if we were in The Hobbit or not.
That is great when they run those giant long trailers, isn't it?
Yeah. I said, no, this is just like a sneak peek or something. Don't worry about it. Should have been a little quicker on my feet. I said, no, this is the new Star Trek movie. The guy would have made a scene or something,
Oh, yeah. So did he think he was in the right movie, or did he think he was in the Star Trek movie?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he obviously I would have thought he would have thought he's in The Hobbit, and then they said right at the beginning of the extended trailer that it's like a special sneak peek, right? And so I don't know. I guess maybe the guy wasn't paying too much attention when they showed that.
I thought it was funny when people go into a theater and they would go into the wrong theater, and they're in the wrong movie, but they'd sit there anyway.
Yeah.
Then they come out and ask for their money back.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm in the wrong movie.
I can't imagine ever doing it. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I could do that, actually.
Yeah, so, was there any other, now this summer, was there any other comic book movies coming out? I mean, the two I'm really looking at are Iron Man 3 and Superman.
Yeah.
I think 4 comes out in November.
Let's see. Well, we got the World War Z. That's not a comic book movie, but that looks kind of interesting to me. So.
Yeah, you got them zombie movies are popular now for some reason.
Oh, wait, here we go. Now, is this what I think it is? Oh, yeah. This is kind of weird. It's a pretty late release, but the Wolverine.
That's right. That one comes out this summer.
Yeah. July 26th. That's kind of a late release. I think that might finish third in the superhero movie.
Well, if it's Iron Man 3 and Superman as the superhero comic book movies coming out, then I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean those late July releases, they never really seem to do that great. So kind of surprising.
The Dark Knight came out late July, and The Dark Knight Rises came out late July.
I was saying, Dark Knight was like early July, I thought. I don't know.
It was like July 21st. They were both late July, which was strange because Batman Begins came out the beginning of June.
Yeah.
And they usually release those around the same time in the summer. Like Iron Man came out beginning of May.
Right.
Iron Man 2 came out beginning of May. Iron Man 3 is coming out beginning of May.
Yeah. Well, that's another reason why I think Iron Man 3 has an advantage over Man of Steel is when it releases. It's not going to have much competition. So I think both the Iron Man movies and the Avengers being the first summer blockbuster to release have jumped ahead of the competition there and has been well timed and probably did a little bit better at the box office than expected because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think Iron Man 3 will at least do as well as the first two box office wise.
Oh wow, you're banking on Man of Steel making quite a bit then.
Yeah. Well, we got about 90 seconds here, man. So appreciate your call. And we'll do this again, and we'll come up with some other topics. But so we'll just have to see what goes on. We'll see if your prediction comes true and Iron Man 3 just crushes Man of Steel.
All right.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
All right. See you.
All right. Well, that was exciting. I appreciate everybody listening in. If you're going to listen on the archive, got some more topics lined up for future shows here, and this was fun. We'll definitely do this again. And I will rename this show at some point. Looking forward to some suggestions and some feedback. All right, this is Joe here signing off.